Welcome back. Now, Colorado Republicans have appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court after the state's top court ruled that Donald Trump was ineligible to run for president. The appeal means he will remain for now on the ballot for the Colorado primary. Last week, the ex-president was disqualified from running in the state for his alleged role in the 6th January 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Trump is the Republican frontrunner and is expected to be the party's candidate for 2024 U.S. elections. The Colorado Republican Party's legal team accused the state Supreme Court of fundamentally changing the course of American democracy. They added that the decision would distort the 2024 presidential election and would mar courts henceforth in political controversies over nebulous accusations of insurrection. Now, joining me on the news to discuss this is Otumba Oseni, a political and public affairs commentator. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. And allow me to quickly send a message of condolences to the people of Ondo State and the people of Nigeria in general. The loss of the governor, Akeredolu. We pray that he so rest in peace.
All right. I mean, we can only pray and hope for the best for the people of Ondo State. But I mean, let's talk about the United States, where the former President Donald Trump is the leading Republican candidate for the 2024 U.S. election. Now, what do you make of this recent Colorado ballot disqualification?
Very interesting, happening in America. Things that are going on, things that are happening these days are very rare. When you look at the indictment of president being former President Donald Trump, being the most prosecuted human being in American history, being also the most controversial candidate of the Republican. So people will start asking questions: is what do you do with this gentleman? But the conundrum here is law is law, and of course the public also may have a little bit of impact on what's going on in the court and also, but generally there shouldn't be too much sensation in what are the reasons given by Colorado to have decided to remove his name on the ballot. There's a situation of very rare part of the Constitution, the 14th Amendment, that prescribes, that clearly states that you could have not swear to an oath to want to serve the state, different level, and then at the same time be a part of insurrection, which clearly the whole world remember the January 6, 2021, that Donald Trump was even asking people to come around to come and storm the Capitol and other kind of thing. Those are issues. But having said that, when you look at the way law all over the world operates, sometimes it can be grinding very slowly, and also sometimes it can also take off a little bit faster. So I have no doubt in my mind that Donald Trump is taking advantage of the rule of law. Yes, Colorado said we cannot have someone who is taking part in insurrection against the state. So we're not going to allow you, but they have appealed it. Appealed it now.
All right. Yeah, now, let's talk about the Michigan Supreme Court that has kept Donald Trump on the ballot despite calls to disqualify him. Now, what is the political undertone for this?
Again, it's all about law. It's all about rules, regulations of America. Do not forget that for 51 countries in America, each of these states have their individual rules, laws, and regulations. They operate according to how things should be done. But then again, all of them are still subject to the Supreme Court of America in total. So whatever decision Colorado, Maine, or Michigan, or whatever, once it's appealed, it will stop the action that specific state wants to take. In the case of Colorado, again, once the Republicans have now appealed the judgment, they cannot do anything but then again to wait for the outcome from the Supreme Court. So the implications are many things could happen. You see, once a case is appealed, it makes the original judgment a little bit weak. So I'm believing that if the Supreme Court did not act quickly to take decision on whether what Colorado or Maine did were right or not, there might be a lot of complications.
All right. Now, let's talk about the impact of the insurrectionist ban on Donald Trump's candidacy across the United States. What are we looking at?
I've just tried to describe to you the the impacts are what we now find to be different states. Actually, there are two states that are now taking decision to want to remove the name of candidate Donald Trump on the ballot box on their states. I mean, from their states, and they are saying we know we have legally proven that you are part of the insurrection, and we're not going to allow it. So these are the communication I'm talking about. So these are the impact. His participation in the January 6, 2021 will continue to haunt him, and that's going to be a major problem.
All right. Now, of course, aside Donald Trump and President Joe Biden being one of the main contenders to look out for in the presidential elections, should we expect maybe some sort of disruption or a disruptor in the U.S. 2024 presidential polls?
Very interestingly, Donald Trump is leading in many of the swing states, the states that Joe Biden won last time. But then again, there's a school of thought that say, you know what, Americans they are grown up and civilized enough to allow Joe Biden to beat him outrightly. So to tell Donald Trump that you're not the kind of a president they want you again. But that is very difficult to establish. It might go either way. And for people like us who are pessimistic about the everlasting empire of America, all good things will probably come to an end. If Donald Trump were to be re-elected again, he has said it all, that he will operate more ruthlessly than Hitler and some other things. So the question is, will the American people allow that kind of thing to happen? So these are issues. For Joe Biden is, is trailing behind Donald Trump. But the possibility that he might still win the election if Republican Donald Trump faces him in 2024 election. So
right.
we don't know yet.
All right. Otoba Oseni, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right.